Action.
You have like a stray hair on the right side.
So this is Nate's little brother.
There we go.
Yeah,
AJ.
so Nate couldn't make it today to Catching It with Katie. Welcome to Catching It with Katie, everyone. We have a new member. This is actually
You look like an AJ. I don't know what that would stand for.
Alexander. It's Alex. This is Alex.
This is Alex.
Hi.
He's Alexander
Or-
Nathan.
yeah.
Instead of Nathan Alexander.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed. The stash is gone. And
It's just minimal. It's still there.
I'm so sorry for what I said when you walked up.
It's okay.
Well, first
I
of all,
forgive you.
I scolded him immediately for speeding on my driveway.
It was for dramatic effect, not a normal occurrence.
It is, though.
I was like, Moo was out. Many horses could have been on the loose and he didn't know. What if you had hit Jack?
Well, there's no way that would have happened.
Okay. Well,
And two,
Well, there's no way that would have happened.
Well,
why are all your animals
well, there's
on
no
the
way that
loose?
would have happened.
it just happens sometimes. But he walked up and I saw immediately that the stash was gone. And I was like,
Minimized.
So that was strike 2.
I was like, I love your stash.
That yours?
No, that
So,
wasn't the first
What did I
sentence.
say?
You said,
I don't remember what I said.
You said you didn't like it, but then you said it was a compliment because you loved. It was a compliment to the stash.
Okay. I was like, I don't like that you took their stash off.
Yeah.
Where did it go? And then because I just love a good stash. But
Me
then,
too.
But then I told you that you were handsome.
You are worth it. You have value.
It just I'm like when I was a baby even, my mom said that I would cry if a man without facial hair tried to like hold me. I guess it just like correlates to like manliness to me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I
And
like
here
the
we're right
stash.
back to ground zero.
And we're back. Yeah.
What made it happen though?
I trimmed it a little bit, and then I had like a bit of an OCD thought, I guess, where I was like, I feel like and when I wash my face, I wash the hair, and I started to have this feeling like, how long has it been since I washed my skin? And I
that way.
realistically, like, you can get in there and wash it and it's fine, but I couldn't get the thought out of my head. So I had to trim it really short so I could make sure everything was clean.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So,
It's actually like I'm sitting here, I'm getting used to it. I'm taking it in. It's a vibe with the long hair.
yeah.
It for sure is.
I don't.
Especially if you put it up.
I liked it more than I thought it was going to look super weird.
Like, because Matt was like, "You look so young." I think it doesn't make you look baby faced because the hair. Like the hair brings in some maturity. Still.
Yeah.
Like it. I don't know.
But still, definitely 25 and not 31.
Yeah, not 35 for sure.
Yeah.
Did your baby like it?
Yeah. She likes it. She likes when it's smooth. She doesn't like the rough, which is why
I
I
get it.
stopped having a beard to begin with, because she would like put her cheek against mine, and she wouldn't do that if I had facial hair. So I was like, well, I'm never growing that again. Mustache for life.
Jonathan's
morning.
beard, because he leaves it so long, it gets so soft, and then sometimes like he'll condition it, so it gets like super
Yeah.
soft. But yeah, I mean it's like sandpaper if you're.
And I
shaving every now
can't
and then.
grow it that long.
Me either.
It starts to look.
You can't grow
Real
it to the
bad.
soft point.
I have one time, and it was
Has it been since
atrocious.
Has it been since we've all known each other?
No.
It couldn't be.
I don't think so.
Possibly.
Have you
Had
been
to.
bearded?
Had to have been.
No.
Hold on. I can tell you when it was because I have photos. They were gross. Let me search a beard and see what happens.
Okay, so this week we're all going to be out of town, so we're doing Catching Up with Katie kind of early in the week. We're filming it kind of early, so it's going to be a week from now that y'all see this video. And we were just saying there's not really that much to catch up on before all these trips happen. So why don't we just kind of deep dive into the fall season with maybe some creepy stories. Not creepy, like I have a story in mind, and it's a story that was told to me about a place I was in. So it wasn't something that happened to me per se. But does anybody else want to lead with their story?
Well, I just want to go ahead and say that I don't have anything. So
Yeah.
Just be thinking.
I'm going to be working on
Just
that.
be thinking.
But I just don't want anyone to have their expectations up. I want them to be really low.
And while Abigail is thinking, you guys can drop your scary story or just creepy stories in the comments.
For sure. We would love to hear some creepy stories. Do either one of y'all want to lead?
Go ahead, Katie.
So it's been exactly or almost exactly a year since we went on a trail ride in Colorado. Me and my best friend Rebecca and our husbands, we always tend to go on a trip every year. And so we went to Colorado. We found a place to go trail riding, and we had told them, hey, like, we want to go on like a really long one. You know, our husbands aren't horse people, but we are. Like, can we go? I don't know. It was kind of like a weird time of year where they weren't doing long trail rides, but we convinced them to take us. And so we had this really, really sweet guide. He was talking to us the whole time and telling us stories and, you know, just really good conversation. And so we got to this point. We're like out in the middle of, I think they said they had like 10,000 acres or something like that, that were available for this trail ride. And so we're going through this part of the trail ride where it's like a gorge. Like there's just like these hills going either side and like you can cut through it. And they're like, yeah, we don't like, that's not a part of the trail ride, but there's kind of a creepy story aligned with this gorge. Excuse me. And
Excused.
and we were like, okay, well, tell us. And he was like, so this is called Mutilation Gorge.
Nice.
That makes me immediately be like, great, I'm on a horse named Charles who I can't get to go over a walk. Like, there is no fleeing on this Percheron Lusitano mix. Like, he was just a chunk. He was very fun. I would have taken Charles home, but not for fleeing, not for being in a dangerous situation. And so this is more of like a real life, like, this is just weird. Like, this isn't
Indian burial ground type
this
stuff.
isn't paranormal. This isn't paranormal, whatever. So he said, yeah. So, you know, in these places out west in Colorado, whatever, if you have like a herd of horses, like a lot of these horses, if you just turn them out, like they just go be self-sufficient. They're not in barns. They're not pampered like my horses. So he said there was a stallion that the place he was on owned. And for whatever reason, they turned him out just to be out. No clue why. I think they were turning him out for like a year.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know the reason why they turned him out. But that wasn't uncommon. That wasn't something they just like decided to do that for that one horse. Like a lot of times they'd turn out like herds of horses. And so they said about a year later, they go to round him up and they bring him up and he had been surgically castrated. So like, yeah, like surgically castrated and it was healed perfectly. But mind you, this isn't like near anywhere. This isn't on anyone's, like, no one can get into this. I mean, I get they can get in.
But middle of
this
nowhere.
It's the middle of nowhere. Like, no cell service, no anything. Surgically it gets better.
Oh.
Okay? So this stallion had been surgically castrated, and they were like, who would have done this? Then they start finding all of these dead elk, like bull elk. Like, they said they found multiple of them. They have not been like skinned. They had not been like the meat had not been taken. Like it wasn't something where like they were utilizing the animal or like whoever killed it was like taking everything.
Yeah.
These elk were surgically castrated and just left. All in this gorge. Like there was just like a serial.
But they also
nut
don't
cutter.
know if like someone killed them and then did it, or if
that was another thing.
someone.
So it could have been a collector.
There was no
Yeah.
evidence of like a bullet wound or like whatever on these elk, but they looked to be healthy bull elk.
Like they could have done it and then they just found the bodies.
They could have found the
And-
bodies and done it, but it was also like how many bull elk are just dropping dead?
But
Right.
then how would it have healed?
Yeah, that's another thing.
They could have
Well,
done
no,
it
no,
and
no.
then it died.
I'm saying, what if they did it, they castrated it, released it, and then it just naturally dies, and
wouldn't
they
have
find
had-
the body,
they wouldn't have,
and it's.
horns ever again. If they castrated them, that's
Did
another
they
thing. I
have
didn't
horns
think about that.
when they found them?
They didn't specify, but
Well,
I
that-
feel
even
like
if
they
you-
would
if-
have specified.
They
Yeah.
would have died in like within like a month though. Like if they had like
If they got like infected or something
yeah,
like that.
there's no way like the horse maybe for whatever reason could have got lucky, but there's more than likely they castrated them and then they just died like a week later from
Yeah.
infection or
I
whatever.
don't know, but I'm like, were they tranking them?
Right. That's what I was
castrating them?
wondering.
And then
Maybe they don't need to. Maybe it's some kind of They just
I don't know. And we were trying, because I told her this story like a week ago.
Yeah.
And we were trying to figure out, like, what could someone's motive be for doing that?
Mm-hmm.
love that, dude.
Like, because we were like, okay, is it some type of like
Where was this
ceremonial
again?
something?
Some type of like folklore thing.
Yeah,
What
folk
state were you in?
ceremonial.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
What state were you in?
Colorado. But then we were also like, because at first I was like, okay, it would make total sense if they were castrated and they had also had their meat taken. It's like someone,
Harvesting.
utilizing the whole animal. Like
Right.
that would have made sense to me. But like,
This is for witchcraft.
No, yeah, it's a very like
It's
if you
weird.
take them for that specific purpose, you're doing it for like not necessarily weird reasons. Like we were googling it, and it was saying that like it helps with like men's like reproductive health. It's believed by some if you eat it, it helps with like men's reproductive health. It has certain like health benefits.
But that would
but
go
it's a
along with
very
utilizing the
specific.
whole animal.
It's a very specific thing.
You can't. It is encouraged. Like even like killing a deer. Like I personally have. You eat cow testicles.
Yeah.
Stuff
Yeah.
like that.
just to not waste any.
But
they
the
wasted.
oddity here is that it's in the middle of nowhere, and
Right.
for somebody to make that much of an effort to go get their testosterone boosted is a little out
And
of
not-
Right,
you,
and
like-
nothing else.
Right.
Yeah.
meat is amazing. Like,
No,
why are
this
we
is
not-
this is straight up like deer antler skull on the face, like
Like pagan.
pagan folk
Yeah.
witchcraft stuff.
I don't know, because I sometimes like on TikTok I'll see some videos of like current time like people that practice witchcraft or whatever. And so if there's anybody that follows me
I would love to know.
and
Don't.
you know
Quit
of
it.
that stuff,
Stop.
Unfollow.
if anyone does and they know anything that could lead to an answer for this, I would love to know.
Oh, I thought you meant like if there's anybody that follows that does witchcraft.
Or is this whole thing just like a thing to attract tourists? Is it like
That's what I was like. That's such
like
a
an urban
specific-
legend type thing? Like
But
it,
what a
Maybe.
weird story.
yeah.
But still, though, like I'm just saying, like, did y'all ever see that movie? If you haven't, it's such a great movie about like those 4 British dudes. Like,
The Ritual.
Yes, that's what it makes me think of.
me
and
too.
stuff like that, I freaking
That's
love.
I love that type of stuff,
so
and it's
crazy.
the scariest to me because it's like and that still happens.
because it's so real and it's
What?
stuff that could happen.
It's not real.
No, I don't watch that stuff.
I don't know.
But like with the
And
ritual,
that,
I don't
but
even
like,
toy with it.
isn't that the creepy?
Yes.
And you don't watch it because it's like actually
Because
scary.
it's real.
Because
Yes.
it's real.
and it's
yeah.
a breath
I
of
don't
fresh air from like ghosts and stuff.
Yes, I don't necessarily like watching paranormal
Almost did, for
like
real.
stuff, but stuff like that gets me.
And what the beauty of the ritual is, like, it's so real, and it's like, and it could happen. And even at the end, when it gets a little not real,
Yeah.
it's great because that's the payoff you wanted. Because it's stuff like
because
that,
it's so just like
right? Because you get to see like what actually
Yeah.
happens and stuff. So, but that's what I think of.
Like when he told us that, like it rocked me. I was like,
the rest of the ride I would have been thinking about.
I'm just
that.
thinking of like that big creature in the middle of Colorado taking all these elk testicles and like
all I could think
harvesting
about.
them.
and I've thought about that. That's been a year ago, and it came back to me, and I was like, I have to tell this story because like, yes, like could this be just like a touristy, something they say, but like they have so many other options to tell a story that would creep somebody out.
Yeah,
other than,
that's
like,
so
a
specific.
chronic testicle remover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
serial testicle
needed to be
remover,
so
serial
absurd.
castrator.
Yeah, but that was just anyway.
Can you? So if you Google it, does anything come up?
Not of Mutilation Gorge.
Okay.
I haven't found anything related to
Okay, well, that kind of makes it like more.
Real.
It kind of makes it more believable to
Yeah.
me.
That it's not like on a forum.
Yeah, that you can't just like
let me
Google
scour
it.
Reddit.
I've always been a fan of, in my younger years for sure, but going to not like famously haunted places, but like locally haunted places.
Jonathan has, and he's like, I never will again. It scared him to his core, and his story is what's like made me believe in ghosts. And I've been terrified of ghosts my entire life.
He has a few
He has a few paranormal
instances.
and we've talked
Oh,
about
yeah.
this on like the very first episodes of the podcast, I remember. But he went to the Plantation, the Carter house, and like they broke in, he and a bunch of kids, they were like 15, 16 years old, and there was a well, which I guess wells are like known to be portals, between worlds or whatever.
Yeah.
Whales?
Well, like a water.
Oh, I thought
like
you
a
know-
well.
What are they doing with a whale?
okay.
Whales are known to be portals between worlds,
Could you imagine
Get
that?
swallowed by one.
as you know.
Learned that on Shark Week. Anyway, go on.
But,
The
but
blue
no, but
whale.
He said that they took a Ouija board. He was like, I will never touch a Ouija board.
Took a Ouija
As
board.
one does.
as you do.
They took a Ouija board. It was a bunch of kids. And he said that he has never seen, and like, I truly believe if my husband was telling this scary story over 9 years of being together, he would have told me, like, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You know?
I would hope.
I would hope that he'd be like, I'm just kidding. Like, that didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
Like, he went home and slept with his mom that night. Like, he went and got in bed with his parents and was like, I like, you have to stay with me. And he says he brought one home. Anyway, so
He brought one home.
okay. So they were on the well, and again, they broke into this degenerate. They broke into this place, and they were using the Ouija board and just asking some questions at first, like some yes/no stuff and whatever. So, but then he got to where they were asking them like specific stuff, like the spirits, and the Ouija little thing started moving on its own over letters, like on its own.
I repeat
And then
this.
Katie will like legit scare herself here in a minute. to
Yeah.
where
I
she
will.
can't scare
She'll start
stories.
crying. And that's happened before
Is that on the
an
podcast?
episode.
From telling
I
a
think
scary
it was
story.
from around this time last year. If you'd like to go check that out.
like and here's the thing, I'm a glutton for punishment because I genuinely love these stories.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want you to tell me, but I also am terrified and I don't want to. And so like he said that there were some spirits because again, this was an old plantation that they had open for tours and whatnot. There had been battles, fought on this like big field and things, and so you could have like. He said that there were things to read about the history of the spot right there. So they knew kind of like the types of spirits that might be there. And so there was a couple that he talked to that he was like, are you a bad spirit or a good spirit? And they were like, bad. And he was like, bad. And one of the guys there was like taunting them. Like Jonathan said, most of them were just like asking kind of like menial questions. And this other guy was like taunting them. And
It
he
was
kept being
Jonathan.
like-
It was
It
Jonathan.
was Jonathan. And he was like, I can't say what he was saying.
Stupid ghost.
Yeah, but he was saying some like crude stuff and being like, show me that you're, I'm like getting, okay. He's like, show me that you're here. And he said, every lamppost,
Why are your eyes watering?
he said, every lamppost, every like window in the house, everything around them that could lit up all at once. I'm sorry. It just,
I mean, like, I'd have been out.
Me too.
and then he was like, turn them off. And they all just turn off. Freaks me out. And I can't remember what it was, but they all went running. And they didn't shut the Ouija board because they all went running.
Rookies.
Rookie mistake.
And so because they didn't shut the Ouija board, he was like, I went home. I was terrified. We all went running. I cannot remember what the thing
Gotta
was
finish it.
that he said or like that they said to him. But they said that there was like at one point he asked how many of you are here, and they said like 5 or something like that, and there were like 5 orbs like in the field in front of them, like floating like orbs. Anyway, so he said whatever it was that scared them, they all went running. They left the Ouija board open. He runs home, sleeps with his parents because he is so terrified. And then he told his mom everything he'd done, and he was like, can you please like pray over me or something? I need some sort of like comfort. I don't know. I'm scared more than I've ever been in my life. He's like the 16, 17-year-old boy. The next day, he has to go to school or go to wherever. She said she's home. And I, again, would hope that Lisa would tell me
Oh,
if she
for
was
sure.
Right.
if she was like
Yeah.
being for real or not. She said she was home alone. Their house, the staircase was right next to the kitchen. They went upstairs. She was home completely alone, and she heard footsteps and voices upstairs, like all morning that morning. And so she had like someone come and like sage the house and like was like saying, like
Yeah.
did like a thing, and like they said the Lord's Prayer and saged it and like all this stuff, and then they never had it like happen again. But yeah.
That sounds that's too much detail for that to be made up. Yeah,
There's
that's
more
insane.
too. Like I'm giving y'all like
Oh, yeah.
The
What's
synopsis.
the more? I want to know the more.
Jonathan would have to tell it. I don't know.
Oh.
Call him.
Well, I mean, I know he also, like, the stories of his, like, college experience as well.
No. When he lived at that house just down the road.
Yeah.
So there was a house down the road. I don't know who lived there prior, but it was an old house. Like, so he and two of his buddies lived in a house when I first started dating him, and he it was just a small like 3-bedroom house, but it was like there was like a living room and a kitchen. It was on the road. It was on the farm that his buddy's family owned, and it has since been remodeled and looks super cute. But back then it was nasty. I barely wanted to go over there because like it was just 3 22-year-old boys. And I cannot quit burping. I'm so sorry. So he didn't tell me any of this stuff because he didn't want me to quit going to his house. But after he moved out, he told me all these stories about, like, they knew it was haunted. And they just, they were fine with it. And so they, like, would have instances where they'd all be sitting there and then the recliner would just kick up. Like, not shut down, like, lean back. Or one time, his brother was sleeping on the couch and, like, saw a ghost. He saw a man in a top hat in the house. We've talked about this
We have.
because it's the top
We
hat.
have.
Yeah, we've talked about the top hat. man.
We've
We
talked
talked
about this.
the top hat man.
And then, like, you
Can't
know,
say his name like that many times though.
Top hat man, top hat man.
like one time a dip can just went flying across the room. One time Caleb went to like open the door, and he went to open it and he twisted it and it twisted back, and then he fought and pushed it forward and it slammed shut. Someone like pulled it shut, and there was no one home. And then so they had this like spirit living with them, whatever, maybe someone who had died there. We don't know. I don't know.
Wasn't there like something about like
The deer head fault.
no, like the person that lived there before them, wasn't there like it rumored that she was like a witch or something?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
So the girl that like lived in that house before, like I totally forgot about that. Yeah, they think that she cursed it because she got kicked out or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Jonathan started talking about, I'm moving out, I'm leaving on this date, I'm, whatever. And he had a deer like skull that was above his bed. Probably not the best place to have hung this thing, right? But it wasn't like a full mount. It was like a European mount, and it was right above his bed. And like there was a few times prior to this where he knew that it had been in his bedroom because like, like the sensation when someone sits on your bed, and then when they get up, it goes back up. Like that would happen with him in bed.
It doesn't take much more than that for me to.
I'm never sleeping in that house again.
Yeah, but anyway,
I'm like, you let me.
That would have been enough.
So the night before he was set to leave, he literally heard it unscrewing in his sleep. And he said, right before it happened, I literally said, this deer head's about to fall on my head. And so he moved a bit. And if he hadn't moved, it would have like literally like gotten like the top
That's
of his head or the
insane.
forehead. But he moved. And so it clipped the back of his head and he had to have stitches.
dang.
Yeah. But he was like, it was secure. Like this was like
like it had been there the
It had been there
entire time.
years.
Oh yeah,
He had the spidey senses, but not the spidey speed.
And he was like, I literally heard this thing pulling it out of the wall.
Well, no one else's stories matter at this point.
Now he would.
so.
And
If
now,
we had stuff like that and growing, like we would go to places, like there was one place that you would go for whatever reason, that would have this cow head mounted on this barn that nobody owned, and it was half decayed, and it had been half decayed for like 15 years. Like it just never finished. It would always just stay in like this constant state of decay. But there was one place that you could go that was called Crybaby Bridge, and it was where this mom had 2 babies or whatever and couldn't take care of them or whatever, so she got out of the car, grabbed them both, and jumped off the bridge with both of them. And so you could drive on the bridge at a certain time, and it's depending on the situation. Our car never shut off, but some people's cars would shut off. But the road would get really foggy. If your mirrors, you fog up your mirrors, you could see like little baby handprints. The only thing that happened to us was the road got really foggy. The AC quit working, and you could hear, for whatever reason, I got out of the car and you could hear like.
Is this like you can Google that this happened? That this event happened?
100%.
See, I don't have any experiences like this.
But that was when we just like
I try not to.
desired
Yeah,
to go to do stuff like that. And
I've
I think
never
about that
tried
now.
to go to seek it out.
There's train tracks near here where you can see a guy sometimes. I don't know the whole lore of like when you have to go to see him, but there's train tracks near here where you like he lost his head or something like that and he's looking for his head.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
You've seen it?
Not that train track, but there was one near our college.
Maybe that's what there's something about this train track. So I'm trying to remember the lore of it, but
I actually made a whole movie about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's called The Light. It was about the Garden Light in Garden, Arkansas.
I remember you talking about this.
Tell them about your short film.
Well, I will.
Okay, we'll get.
I will.
We'll
Yeah.
stay in this.
Yeah, I don't have anything crazy. The creepiest thing I can think of is one time, I can't remember how old I was. I was younger, and I was going to church with my grandparents, and a very small church, and it was by a creek, and there's a little bridge, and under the bridge was a lady laying face down in the water. So my first thought is, we need to call the police. There's a dead lady in the water. And I'm just standing there staring. Like, so then people start coming over. And they're like calling out, hey, are you okay? It's probably been 3 minutes at this point of me just standing and staring at this body in the water. She lifts up, looks at us and says, I'm okay. And puts her face back in the water and lays face down. Probably stand for another 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. Face down in the water, underwater. I'm like, what is happening? So then I think somebody had like called the police at this point. But we went into church, never saw the police show up. Came back out and she was gone. I'm like, how'd you have your face down in the water for that many minutes?
Interesting.
Just not moving.
That
at
qualifies
all.
as a creepy story.
It does.
For sure.
It creeped me out.
Yeah.
I was probably 9, 10.
I kind of wonder if we have like repressed like memories of
Yeah.
creepy stuff.
I do think that there's good
I bet I
things
have a
though.
lot.
Like
Yeah.
Maddie's grandma died in the house that we live in right now. And like sometimes I feel like I'll hear Lily in her room and she's at daycare. But like I'll hear like her like make like little baby noises or something like that, and she's not. There was one time I cannot believe that you don't want to talk about repressed. I really thought I dreamt this, but like I woke up in the middle of the night 'cause I thought she was crying, and I woke up because she was crying, and I went in, and I was like half awake because I was waiting to hear if she was like going to go back to sleep, and I heard like,
Stop.
I kid you not, and so naturally. And I heard her fussing, and I heard her going, and I heard her humming. And I went in there, she was dead asleep.
Ugh. There are a lot of creepy. I feel like
sleep.
I feel like
So
creepy
it's like
baby
that may be
things
there.
happen.
There
a
may be
lot.
something there, maybe.
like, okay, there's like my Nana, who is my favorite person in the world. Abigail stayed in my Nana's house for a couple of weeks while we've been trying to get like her house done. And I had a moment. I don't know were you sitting with her or was it? I don't know who was with you when this happened, but you were like, "Is your Nana gonna haunt me in this house?" And I was like, "I hope so, because I want to talk to her." Like
It wasn't me.
Like that was like if it could be a nice ghost and it's my Nana,
But they always
I
trick
want my
you.
Nana ghost.
They always trick you though. They always like appear as somebody.
Right, and like I'm kind
you
of
have
under
anything
the
in the house? No.
I'm kind of under the opinion, I guess, that like if they're still here,
It's not for a good
it's
reason.
not there. Then
Yeah. I can agree with that, I think.
yeah. I don't know. That's just
Well,
kind
nobody.
of
I
that's
guess
just
nobody
kind
really
of my
knows.
my
Yeah.
belief, I guess.
Unfinished
I
business.
don't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want my grandma to still be here. I'd want to think if she, moved on.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
But selfishly for sure.
Yeah.
Selfishly, for sure.
Well, I mean, I don't think being selfishly wanting that is a bad thing.
No.
I think
I selfishly wish my dog was still alive.
I don't think like ghosts are a thing personally. I think if you're encountering something, it's spiritual. It's not like, oh, a grandma died in this house and now the grandma still lives
I
in the
agree with
house.
that
I'm
too.
like,
It's
this
pretty much
is-
kind of the same thing.
This is like a demon or something.
I don't necessarily like. It's hard for me to say like ghosts are real, but I have like just experienced stuff, and I've heard people like say things that it's like, I know you cannot be making this up.
Yeah.
That I do believe that happened, and I believe that maybe like what I saw happened, but like he said, I don't necessarily think that it was a ghost of somebody, but maybe a bad entity replicating that event.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
Because you always like, okay, for instance, one of my friends, like it's like a kind of like a friend removed, like she was telling the story about the house that she and her husband bought that was a really old house, and they had found out that there was a child death in it at one point because this house was like from the 1920s. Or
You got to
something
tell
like that.
people
Like,
that too.
Yeah.
And so she had found out, like, okay, there had been a child death in this home, whatever. So they've named her something. I can't remember what they named her. I think they named her Sally.
Mm-hmm.
And they hear Sally all the time. And it's very specifically a little girl. She'll turn the shower on upstairs
Oh gosh,
and be singing in the shower.
Yeah.
I can't
You'll
live
hear-
like that, dude.
No.
You'll hear her little footsteps upstairs. Like, it's very, I'm crying.
I'm about to. I can't do that every day of
Yeah,
my
I
life,
can't.
dude.
Just imagine the possibility. It's not little Sally. It's a demon.
The
who you've
probability.
now welcomed into your home.
Yeah.
And you're used
Who's
to it.
Acting. I'll make little child noises. I'll do things a little child would do, and you're like, oh, cute. You can stay.
Yeah. And you don't do anything about
Or
it.
it's
And you
Meemaw.
also don't leave
And now
because you feel
now
like
you have
you're
an evil
safe
spirit in your home
Yeah.
posing as a child
Or Meemaw. All my
to
Meemaws
make
here.
you feel like safe.
to make you feel like, oh, well, it's just a little kid.
and you believe it so easily because of
And
the
it's like, well, maybe
Yeah.
not.
And
Yeah.
that's the thing. So, like at the plantation that Jonathan went to as a kid, they knew that those spirits had a like they weren't like they straight up were like, no, we're bad.
Yeah.
Like we're no.
yeah.
And they were like, they asked him like, were you soldiers and were you, whatever, things like that. And so that it's like you expect, okay, we should leave,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
But then, like you said,
A little
a
girl,
little girl, a little,
And
whatever.
assuming
your grandma.
that these evil spirits have been around for forever. Anytime you're like, let's say you were talking to somebody who's going to like tell you stuff about your past, why wouldn't they know things about you? Like if you went to a medium and the medium's communicating, let's say with a demon who's been around and has seen you,
Oh, okay.
Your
So
whole
you're
life.
saying if you went to like a psychic and was like, "Can I talk to my
and they're like,
mother?"
Is there?
And then you're wondering why they
your
know
mother's
things.
name, Tammy.
Yeah.
How would they know that? Well, maybe they're communicating with someone who's seen you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There. Yeah.
And
knows
if there is anything that has been transcribed over the histories over and over and over is some sort of paranormal activity.
Oh, like undeniably.
Yeah.
I don't know how someone could say like absolutely no.
Even
This
down
doesn't
to like
exist.
back in like even if you wanted to get back into biblical eras, however that you want to interpretate demon possessions, like it's there it is.
Yeah.
So it's like it's all these different histories,
it's
all these
always
different
been around
countries,
in different like forms.
in different
and-
forms,
yeah.
and different somebody like demon possession and demons and stuff like that has always been a thing.
Okay, never
And
mind.
and
My
so
brain
what if
went-
it's like the same ones?
What?
on the
Oh,
same
yeah, I
note?
think
How
so.
do all these different cultures have their own depiction of a dragon? Dragons had to have been.
I'm going to tell you something right here and there. I'm so glad you brought
I'm
that
on
up.
that boat.
Do you remember the like the book fairs?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
a huge ology guy. You remember the wizardology, dragonology,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
ology book? You would know.
That was before mine.
Oh
My
my!
time.
Oh, you missed the good book
I'm
fairs.
sorry.
You missed the good
I sure did.
Januaries.
She had the trinkety ones.
Yeah.
I had
Yes.
great book fairs.
Dude,
No,
the
you
book
don't
fairs
know.
in my day, dude,
promise.
like you went like if your parents loved you enough to send you with like 100 spot, dude. Oh my god!
You got 100?
I never
I
got
never
100.
got money
I
for
never
the
got
book.
100.
I always got like a 20.
Right,
Yeah.
but if you got 100 spot for that book fair, dude, you were cashing in. 'Cause I could always only get one thing, but I would always get the ology books and dragonology. Like obviously you get wizardology, and they give you a wand, and obviously I think it was real, and I would put it together. And but anyway, dragonology was one that I was sold. There you go. Sold into, and I would do all these research, and it would have like demographics of like all these different dragons and all the regions of these dragons, and I would try to find the dragon that would possibly be in western Oklahoma at my time. I was like, if there's any like what would possibly be here? But man, I was so determined for the longest time that I was going to be the guy to discover him.
Do y'all ever? Sorry, go ahead.
My whole thing is just like, you see artwork, you hear depictions, you hear all this stuff from thousands of years of different cultures on other sides of the world. Like, how can they all describe?
Do you think they're still real, or do you think they just existed at one point?
There's so many things that I think used to exist.
I will
just
say that
don't
it's
anymore.
probably easier to have a mythical sea creature still alive than a
Oh
land.
my gosh!
Like,
Don't
would-
get me
you would-
started
you would
on the
see it.
ocean.
But
For sure.
So it
Ocean's
creeps me
crazy.
out more than anything else.
Actually, you want to know some? I've been on a deep dive in space lately.
yeah, space.
And
I'm out on space.
Like just the magnitude of how large it is.
Yes.
is insane. So there's reportedly hundreds of billions, if not trillions, of galaxies. Okay, if you shrunk our galaxy down to the size of the United States, how big do you think the sun would be?
Wait, if you shrunk
Like-
Hold on.
Yeah,
our
let's-
galaxy.
Our galaxy, which has our solar system in it.
Okay.
So the Milky Way.
Yes.
If the Milky Way was the size of the United States,
The size of this croc charm right here.
well, if the Milky Way is okay,
That's how big I think the sun would be.
okay,
No, like the
And-
size of
and
like an ant
okay,
that's hard to put into perspective for me.
or like a speck of dust. I don't even know.
it would fit in between the ridges in your finger,
Really,
in your fingerprint. The sun would fit in between
you
the
were the
ridges.
closest one.
That's the scale of how big the Milky Way is.
Wow.
And
And there's
there's
trillions of
hundreds
them.
of billions or trillions of the United States sized things in the universe. Trillions.
And so if the
It's
sun is
insane.
that big, imagine how big Earth is.
And then how big you are on it.
Right.
So you think you're important?
So really,
I don't.
So really, you don't have to go to work tomorrow.
yeah,
None of it
just
matters.
just
So-
when you thought you meant something.
I know what I'm about to go by.
So since we definitely got into this topic today, and we've been filming for over 40 minutes already, we do need to do a smidge of a catch up of just like what's going on,
Yeah.
of what's to come, what's going on, and I think it's going to be kind of repetitive at this point, but we are going to New York this week for a Facebook event. Actually, super excited about that. They had us come out last year, and it was in Austin, Texas, and it's for a little bit of something different this year. But I'm speaking on a panel. I'm going to dinner with some people. Really excited, but also very scared of New York City. So never been there.
It's scary.
I don't know how to do the city. Don't know how to do any of it. So we
Just
tried
do your
to do.
best.
We tried to get a hotel
Survive.
close to the convention center. We tried to get we already arranged for someone to pick us up, so we don't have to try to arrange transportation when we get there. And yeah, but we're going to New York. That's going to be different and fun. But we're only going for 2.5 days, and then we come back. You're going home for a little bit, and I'm just going to try to button things up here on the farm, and then we all go to Congress. Have y'all decided if you're both coming for the whole time or if you're splitting it?
That is being decided
yeah,
today.
It's still up in
It's
the
going to
air.
be in discussion until the day that they have to leave.
Just to say we're
Very close.
well,
we're leaving on
part of it-
Sunday,
I can't remember if we were doing something the 12th or the 13th.
the 13th.
So
Okay, so
he
we
shows
can.
the 13th.
yeah,
Okay, so we can.
Yeah.
Then more likely both of us.
Okay. He shows the 13th, and now, take this out. Y'all will find out later. That week. I haven't even told you this. He's showing the Western
we need
Riding.
to just review those dates. So I'll just get those last 2 days, and you can handle most of the rest. But anyway,
So yeah,
that out.
we're about to leave for the Congress. We're about to be there for over a week. It's going to be really, really fun. And other than that, we just have calving season and just taking care of little calves. And Ted and Huckleberry made it to their new home safely. And we just don't really have that much else going on right now. We're just kind of in that little lull point. And then after that, there's going to be so much to talk about. So,
Yeah.
anything? Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
I don't think I did. So hope y'all enjoyed this episode. It's a little bit random, but we're in that spooky season of the year. So let us know your scary stories or spooky, situations that you've been in the comments. And then we will see y'all in the next one.